Imagine you have been to the field to collect in-situ data, and after several hours of sampling under the rain and sun, you have returned with your notebook filled with measurements of different scientific parameters from different locations across wet and dry seasons. Everything looks fine until you sit down to analyze the data. Imagine this is how you entered your data in an Excel spreadsheet as shown in Data Table 1 or Data Table 2. You looked at the data again in your computer and suddenly nothing makes sense. The arrangements are scattered, the format is inconsistent, and you can't clearly tell what changed over time or what differs from one location to another. This is exactly where many students and researchers get stuck, not because the data is bad, but because the structure of the data table does not match the type of analysis they want to perform. You cannot use data under this kind of arrangement or structure in SPSS. Now, if your goal is to understand how your parameters varies across space and time, that is to perform spatiotemporal analysis, then your data must be organized in a way that allows you to track both where and when each measurement was taken. The data structure must be organized in the best of way to suit the type of analysis you want to perform. In this video, I will show you how to transform the raw and disorganized field data into a clean, structured dataset that is perfectly suited for spatiotemporal analysis in SPSS. You will learn how to arrange your data so you can easily compare locations, detect seasonal patterns, and run statistical tests with confidence. And by the end of this video, you will have more reasons to thank me. My name is Titocan, and this is Titocan Solutions, a YouTube channel for improving the knowledge of how to do things. Now, let's break this down step by step. When we talk about spatiotemporal analysis, we are simply asking two major questions. 1. Where did the change happen? That is the location. And 2. When did it happen? That is the time period, which in this case is the seasons. To answer these questions correctly, your data must be arranged in a way that clearly links each measurement to both a location and a time period. So, what is the correct approach? You must convert your raw field data into what we call a tidy data structure like this. In this format, every single row represents one complete observation, meaning one location at a time, under one season for the measured parameters. At this stage, your data is no longer just numbers, it becomes a story of how the source of your data responds to space and time. So, your data must be arranged in this structure of rows and column format to answer your research question. As you can also see from this tidy data structure, each column tells a complete story, such as where it happened, which is the location, when it happened, which is the season, and what was measured at each location and season, which are the parameters. This structure of data is what makes spatiotemporal analysis possible. Now that the dataset is properly structured in a tidy spatiotemporal format like this, the real scientific analysis can begin. At this stage, your goal is to extract patterns, relationships, and environmental meaning from your data, which accounts for key spatiotemporal analysis such as spatial variation, temporal variation, spatiotemporal interaction, and multivariate environmental behavior. Now, let's identify the key types of analysis you can perform with this type of data structure for spatiotemporal analysis. For spatial variation, which is location effect, you can perform the following. One-way ANOVA to test if mean parameter values differ across locations. You can also carry out a post-hoc test analysis using Tukey HSD to identify which specific location differs. And you can also perform general linear model using location as fifth factor to model spatial effect while allowing inclusion of other variables. For temporal variation, which is the season effect, you can perform the following. Independent sample state test to compare wet and dry season effects. You can also perform one-way ANOVA to test for seasonal differences across groups, and you can do general linear model using seasons this time as fifth factor to evaluate temporal influence within a unified model framework. For spatiotemporal variation, which is interaction effect, you can perform the following. Two-way ANOVA by combining location and season to test the combined and interaction effects of space and time. You can also perform factorial ANOVA to assess the main and interaction effects simultaneously. And you can also carry out general linear model using location and season interaction to quantify interaction while accommodating multiple predictors. And for multivariate environmental behavior, you can perform the following. Maneuver to test joint variation of the measured parameters across space and time. Principal component analysis, PCA, can also be performed to reduce variables and identify dominant environmental gradients. Factor analysis can also be performed to detect underlying latent environmental factors. Cluster analysis can also be performed to group locations or seasons with similar environmental characteristics. And you can also perform discriminant analysis to classify observations based on environmental variables and group membership. These are the few of the many analyses you can perform when you have successfully restructured your feed data to look like the tiny data structure in this video. This is why giving your dataset a good data structure is powerful. If your data cannot clearly answer where and when, then it is not ready for spatiotemporal analysis, no matter how accurate the measurements are. So the real work is not just in collecting data, it is in restructuring the data correctly before analysis begins. At this point, I am optimistic that you'll be able to replicate this procedure to format your feed raw data suitable for spatiotemporal analysis. If you want me to demonstrate how to use the spatiotemporal tidied data in this video to perform any of the analysis mentioned, kindly let me know in the comment section. If this content makes you learn something today, please give this video a thumbs up to like it, click the subscription button and press the bell for notification. Subscription is free. Please share this video to your various platforms for someone in need to also watch and learn. See you in the next video. Thank you and bye.